year and 2 months being a county commissioner is small businesses are the economic force of Durham County. I know we have Research Triangle Park and we have Trayburn and we have a lot of other businesses like large corporations and such. However, it's the small businesses that are really driving Durham County. And how do we make people successful? How do we help them grow their business? What tools can we give them? Things of that nature. I love how Chisa shared her story. I want to share my story. So my grandparents were small business owners in Fayetteville. My grandmother was a school teacher, and they owned a barbershop. They owned two barbershops. And my grandfather was a barber, got out from World War II, started cutting hair, etc. And they bought land off the Murchison Road in Fayetteville. If you've ever been to Fayetteville, you know where Murchison Road is. And the Merc, that's right, the Merc, and started Burton's Barbershop. And they owned it for about 30 years continuously. And my grandparents had an exit plan. They had a barber, a head barber, we called him Mac. He worked with them for at least 20 years. And then when my grandfather retired in 85, he turned over the shop to Mr. McAllister Mac. And Mac ran it for another 20 years. So that barbershop was in continuous operation for at least 50 years, 40, 50 years. So it went to my aunt and my father, and they, rented it out for a while, and we still owned the property. They still owned the property, I should say. And it generated a lot of income and wealth for my family, to the point where we're trying to figure out what are we going to do with all this land. Right? Because people get older, you got to figure out what to do with it. But my grandparents were smart enough to take the profits from the barbershop, purchase other property, also educated their children, right? Built 2 houses, things like that, was able to help other people. It allowed my grandparents to be very community oriented. My grandfather was president of the Fayetteville branch of the NAACP. My grandmother taught for 40 years. They were pillars of the community. They were very well known across the state. They have been deceased for at least 26 years. My grandmother, my grandfather, about 37. I still meet people to this day who knew them because that's how influential they were, how community oriented they were, and it was passed down to me, right? So I understand, and barbershops build community, especially with men. And it was very interesting for me to go to Fayetteville back in October of 2025, and men were like, oh yeah, I got my hair cut there. Oh yeah, so-and-so cut my hair. Oh, I knew your grandfather. So it really built a strong community with men in the Fayetteville community at that time. So I'm really passionate about small business. How can we help people be successful? How can Durham County government help small business owners be successful? Because we want to continue to build this ecosystem here, particularly for young adults. I'm seeing that a lot of young adults want to be entrepreneurs and run their own businesses. And